Hi everyone, today we'll discuss JEE Advanced 2016 Paper 2 Mathematics, which was conducted on 22nd of May 2016. So we'll discuss all the question and the solutions one by one in detail. This will be useful for students who have already given JEE to check their answers, and it will also be useful for other students who are planning to give JEE in future. So let's start over the discussion. First is question number 37, and this is single choice correct question. Question number 37 says that there is a matrix P, and this matrix P is actually equal to, I'll change the color of the pen, 1 0 0 4 1 0 16 4 1. This is matrix P, it's already given. I is identity matrix of order 3. Q is another matrix such that P power 50 minus Q is equal to I. So we have to find out Q31 plus Q32 divided by 31 plus 32 divided by Q21. This is what we have to find out in question. Now we already know that P is this, so let us try and find out what is P power 50. So for that, first of all, I will have to find out P square. So if I find out P square, so I'll just multiply this matrix 2 times. So let me take this matrix P and multiply it with the same matrix. So if I find out P square, this will come out to be 1 0 0. Here I'll get 8 1 0, and here I'll get 16 plus 16 plus 32 and 8 and 1. This will be P square. Similarly, if I find out P cube, so you will see that there is a pattern which is coming out here. So P cube will be 1 0 0. Here I'll get 12. Here I'll get 1 and 0. Here again I'll get 16 plus 32 plus 48. Okay, so I'm not adding the numbers because I can see clearly that there is a pattern. First I got 16 plus 32. In P cube I got 16 plus 32 plus 48. Similarly, if I find out P power 50, okay, so there is a complete symmetry and there is a pattern which is formed. So I can say here I'll get see, first I have 8, then I have 12. So this is nothing but 4 into 2. This is nothing but 4 into 3. Similarly, if I write here, this here I'll get 4 into 50, so this will be 200. Okay, here also I'll get 200. Here it will be 1 1 and 0. Here I'll get a series. This is having 3 terms, so here I'll get a series which has 50 terms. So it will be like this: 16 plus 32 plus 48 and so on up to 50 terms. Now what will be the summation of this series? 16 plus 32 plus 48 up to 50 terms. This is what I'll get here. Now this series is nothing but, if I take 16 common, I'll get 1 plus 2 plus 3 till 50. So this series can be written as 50 into 51 divided by 2, n into n plus 1 by 2. So instead of this, I can simply write, in place of this, I can simply write 16, or I can 16 by 2. Yeah, so 16 into 50 into 51 divided by 2. I'll get this as the element. Now we know that P power 50 minus Q is equal to I, right? So if I subtract Q from this, I'll get I. So actually I can say that this matrix is nothing but Q plus I. Alright, so what will be Q31? Q31 is this element, directly it will be this element. So Q31 will be 16 into 50 into 51 divided by 2. Let me assume that matrix Q is something like this. What will be Q plus I? Q plus I will be Q11 plus 1, Q22 plus 1, Q33 plus 1, and everywhere else it will be same. So Q12, Q13, Q21, Q23, Q31 and Q32. This will be matrix Q plus I, and I am comparing this matrix with P power 50. So simply I am comparing. So Q31 will be equal to this term. Now I have to find out the value of Q21 also. So Q21 will be equal to 200. What else? I need to find out the value of Q32. So Q32 will be again 200. Now I need to find out the value of Q31 plus Q32 divided by Q21. Q31 plus Q32 divided by Q21. So this will be equal to 160 into 50 into 51 divided by 2 into 200 and plus 1. So if I solve this, I'll get 102 plus 1, and this will be 103. So the correct answer for this question will be 103. 103. Option B will be the correct answer. Single choice correct question. Just there was a pattern that you need to observe when the question is over. So it was not so difficult question, right? Could have been solved in JEE. Okay, next question is question number 38. Question number 38 is area of the region, this and this, right? So there are two regions which are given. We need to find out the area of these two. So one of the curve is y is greater than equal to under root of mod of x plus 3. Now if I plot the graph of this function, let me first plot the graph of y equal to equality, right? Mod of x plus 3. Now this is nothing but it will be under root of x plus 3 if x plus 3 is positive, that means if x is greater than or equal to minus 3, and if x is less than minus 3, then I'll get the graph of minus of x plus 3. This mod will open with a minus sign. So let me plot this graph. So what will be the graph of y square equal to, here this is y square equal to x plus 3. So y square equal to x plus 3 will be a parabola, and this parabola will be towards the right side, right, mouth opening towards right. So parabola will be something like this. This is y square equal to x plus 3, and similarly y square equal to minus of x plus 3 will be a parabola which is like this, opposite to this, mouth opening towards left side. Now there are two more lines which are given. There are two lines which are given, that is x plus 9 greater than, this is given, right, 5y is less than equal to x plus 9 and x plus 9, and this is less than equal to 15. So from here I'll get actually two lines. From this is x less than equal to 15 minus 9, so that will be 6, x less than equal to 6, and here this is 5y is less than equal to x plus 9. So if I plot this line 5y equal to x plus 9, okay, let me first plot this line. This is which is this point. This point is here, x is equal to 0, so y will be root 3. Okay, y will be root 3, where this line will intersect the curve. The line will be like this. Actually, let me draw this curve a bit like this. So which is this line? This line is 5y equal to x plus 9. 5y equal to x plus 9. So if I put x equal to 0, I'll get y as 9 by 5. So this is root 3, right? So 9 by 5 will be somewhere here. 9 by 5 will be above this and somewhere here, right? So this line is something like this. It will cut somewhere here. So if I draw this line properly, it will be something like this. This is the straight line, and it will meet somewhere here. So my diagram is not so proper, but understand this. This will be the line. This is 5y equal to x plus 9. This line is 5y equal to x plus 9. And also, what will be the intersection point? Let's find out the intersection point. This curve is y square equal to x plus 3 and 5y is equal to x plus 9. So from here, if I find out the intersection point will come out to be x plus 9 by 5 whole square. This is equal to x plus 3. So from here I can say that, or I can simply put the value of x and first find out the value of y. right? So x is nothing but 5y minus, x is nothing but 5y minus 9 plus 3. This is equal to y square. So y square minus 5y, this is minus 6, so it will become plus 6. So from here I'll get y equal to 2 and 3. There will be two values of y, that's 2 and 3. So this line will intersect the parabola at actually 2 points, right? So which will be this point? This line is like this, right? It will again intersect the parabola somewhere here also. Somewhere here also it will intersect, but this will be the lower value of y. So this will be y equal to 2, and if y is equal to 2, what will be x? X will be 1. So this point is, let me say this point will be 1 comma 2. Alright, now let me name all the points, like this is origin, let this point be, so this is 1 comma 2. Let me draw a straight line from here. Okay, I'm drawing a straight line which is perpendicular to the axis of the parabola. So this point will be 1 comma 0. Now what will be this point? Similarly, I can find out this intersection point also. Y square equal to minus of x plus 3. This is the curve. So I need to solve this curve with this line. So if you find out this intersection point, it will come out to be minus 4 comma 1. This intersection point is minus 4 comma 1. Now what is our required area? Now let me again draw a perpendicular from here to the axis. So this point will be minus 4 comma 0. Now I want to find out this area, right? See, it's given that y is greater than this curve. That means it will be outside the parabolas, and y 5y is less than this x plus 9, right? So this is below this line, and outside the parabola. So it will be this region. My required area is this region. Required area is this red region. So I want to find out the area of this red region. Now let me name all the points. Let me say this point is A, this point is B, this point is C, this point is D. Right, so I can see that there is a trapezium. I can find out area of this trapezium very easily. So what will be area of trapezium ABCD? ABCD, this trapezium, area of this trapezium will be, I can say, half into, what is this length? This length is 5, and this length is 2, this is 1. So 1 plus 2, 3, 3 by 2 multiplied by 5, 3 by 2 multiplied by 5, so this will be 15 by 2, 3 by 2 multiplied by 5, so area of trapezium will come out to be 15 by 2. Now I can simply subtract these two areas from the trapezium. Which areas? One is this region. I need to subtract this region, and I need to subtract this region. So let me say this area is A1, and let me say this area is A1, and this area is A2. Alright, so I need to find out both these areas, A1 and A2. So what will be A1? A1 is this curve, right? Area under this curve. So A1 is area under the curve. A1 will be minus of, this is the curve dx, from where to where? From minus 4 to this point. This point is minus 3, right? Minus 3 comma 0. So from minus 4 to minus 3, this will be A1. So we can integrate and find out the value of A1. A2 will be, I'll integrate from minus 3 to 1, right? This point is 1, yeah. So minus 3 to 1 under root of x plus 3. Now my curve is x plus 3 and then dx. So I need to integrate both this and find out the areas of both these regions. So here I can simply write this is minus x minus 3, right? So this will be, what I can do is I can simply take minus x minus 3 as t square. Okay, so minus dx will be 2t dt. Okay, so what I'll get is I'll get t, and dx will be minus 2t dt, so minus 2t square dt. And what will be the values of t? Values of t will be, if I put x equal to minus 3, if I put x equal to minus 3, I'll get minus of minus 3, so t will be 0. Here t is 0. And if I put x equal to minus 4, then what will be the value of t? Then value of t will be 1. So I have to integrate this from 0 to 1. If I cancel out this minus sign, I'll get 0 to 1, 2t square dt. So this will be 2 into t cube by 3 from 0 to 1. So this area will come out to be 2 by 3 simply. So a1 is 2 by 3, and similarly I can find out this also. This I can directly integrate, right? No need to substitute and all that. This is 1 by 2 plus 1, and denominator will be 3 by 2. So basically I'll get 2 by 3 x plus 3 power 3 by 2. And what are the limits? Limits are 1 and minus 3. So put the limits, I'll get 2 by 3, and here I'll get 1. So 4 power 3 by 2, and if I put minus 3, I'll get 0, right? So that part will be 0. So 4 power 3 by 2 will be 2 square. So 2 power 3, that is 8. So 16 by 3. This area will be 16 by 3. Okay, so now we should subtract this 2. So a1 plus a2, add this 2 and subtract it from the area of trapezium, right? So your required area, let me write it here, required area will be area of this trapezium minus a1, and you need to subtract a2 also. So if I solve this, I'll get this quantity as 3 by 2. So your final answer in this case will be 3 by 2. So in this question, this was a bit lengthy question, so you can do this question towards the end of the paper if you get some time. So this was a not so difficult question, but it was a lengthy calculation, right? So you could avoid, or maybe if you can do the calculation faster, you could have done this. Otherwise you can just leave this question for last. Then let's move on to question number 39. Question number 39 says that there is a trigonometric series which is given. So let me write down the question once here. K equal to 1 to 13, 1 divided by sine of. Now in this question we had to use a little bit of chalaki. And what was that chalaki? That I'll tell you. If you could figure out the chalaki, that part, then it was very easy question. So students who figured out this, for them life was very easy. So what, see, we can see the denominator is sine pi by 4 plus, now if I separate this out, this is nothing but k pi by 6 and minus pi by 6. So we can see that this part is exactly same in both of them. So if I subtract this two, right, what is the difference of these two angles? Difference of these two angles is pi by 6, that is 30 degree, right? So, and we know that sine 30 degree is 1 by 2. So what I can do is I can simply multiply divide by 2 here. Okay, so I'll multiply by 2 and I'll divide by 2. So here I'll get 1 by 2, and this, instead of this 1 by 2, I write sine pi by 6. Okay, here this I can write it as sine pi by 6, and this pi by 6 I'll write little style से, right? थोड़ा style से लिखते हैं इसको. So what I'll get is I will subtract these two angles, right? So pi by 4 plus k pi by 6, this angle, okay, let me write it like this, sine of this 1 by 2, I'll write it like this, sine of pi by 4 plus k pi by 6, this minus the other angle, that is pi by 4 plus k pi by 6 minus pi by 6. So basically we need to create difference of two terms somehow, right? And how will I create difference of two terms? By writing it like this, right? Now this is, let me consider this as angle A and this as angle B. So what is our numerator? Our numerator is sine of A minus B, and what is our denominator? Denominator is sine A sine B, sine A sine B. So if I expand this, sine A minus B will be sine A cos B minus cos A sine B, and divided by, I have sine A sine B. So let me separate out the denominators. Here also divided by sine A sine B. So basically what I'll get is this sine A will get cancelled, and here sine B will get cancelled. So I'll get cot of B minus cot of A. Okay, so what is B and what is A? This is B and this is A, right? So here if I simplify this, I get 2 will come outside, k equal to 1 to 13. I'll get cot of B. What is B? B is this angle, smaller angle, that is pi by 4 plus k pi by 6 minus pi by 6 minus cot of pi by 4 plus k pi by 6 minus, no, only this much. Alright, cot A. So like this I'll get. Now if I put the values of k, everything will get cancelled. Like if I say this is the rth term or the kth term, okay, let me remove the sigma and let me say that this is the kth term. So what will be the first term? If I put k equal to 1, I'll get cot of pi by 4 plus pi by 6 minus pi by 6 and minus of cot pi by 4 plus pi by 6. Then what will be the second term? If I put k equal to 2, I'll get 2 times cot pi by 4 plus 2 pi by 6, that is pi by 3 minus pi by 6 minus cot of pi by 4 plus 2 pi by 6, or just keep this as 2 pi by 6, right? So I'll get so these two terms will get cancelled actually. Okay, 2 is outside, so it is like this. These two terms will get cancelled, and what will be the last term? Similarly it will go on, so on. What will be the last term? T13, right? If I put k equal to 13, last term that I'll get is pi by 4 plus 13 pi by 6 minus pi by 6 minus cot of pi by 4 plus 13 pi by 6. This will be the last term. Now see what terms will get cancelled. This terms will get cancelled, this term will get cancelled with next, and this will get cancelled with this. So what will remain is the first term and the last term, right? So what will be the value of sigma tk? This will be Sn, right, actually. So our required summation, this will be 2 times cot of the first term is remaining, that is cot pi by 4 and minus cot of, I'll get cot of pi by 4 plus 13 pi by 6. Now we need to simplify this. So if I have to simplify this, this is nothing but 2 times cot pi by 4 is 1 minus this will be cot of 5 pi by 12 if I add these two angles. So cot of 5 pi by 12, and we know the value of this cot of 5 pi by 12 is nothing but 2 minus root 3. So you need to remember the values also of trigonometric functions. Then this will be 2 times, if I simplify this, I'll get this as 2 times root 3 minus 1. So your final answer will be 2 times root 3 minus 1. This option C is correct. So again, this was an easy question. You just had to figure out this thing, that this angle which is written in the denominators, difference of them is pi by 6, and so we can create difference of two terms. Whenever there are questions like this, all you have to do is create difference of two terms somehow, and then all the terms will get cancelled, and so you will get the value of summation. Let's move on to the next question. This question is from sequence and series. Let's see this question. Now this question says that there is bi, all bi's are greater than 0, so b1, b2, b3, everything is greater than 0, and I is going from 1 to 101. So this is log base e, so I can say that this is ln b1, ln b2, ln b3 till ln b3 till ln of b101. This is arithmetic progression. Right, now I know that if there is a logarithmic arithmetic progression, if there is a series in log, if I remove the log, if I take anti-log of all this, then I'll get a geometric series b101. So this will be a GP. Okay, if there is a GP and if I take logarithm, I get an AP. So reverse is, if there is an AP and if I take anti-log, I'll get a GP. So if you don't know this, then we can simply check by taking 3 numbers. If I take 3 numbers ABC, okay, and I say that these 3 numbers are in GP. If these 3 numbers are in GP, I can say B square is equal to AC. Now if I take log both sides, I'll get ln B square equal to ln AC. So I'll get 2 ln B equal to ln A plus ln C. So this is nothing but AP, right? So ln A, ln B and ln C will be in AP. So I can say the reverse also. If ln A, ln B, ln C are in AP, then ABC will be in GP, right? So this is what we are saying here also, that if there is a logarithmic series and if I take anti-log, there is a series b1, b2, b3 will be in GP. Now let's read further. with common difference equal to ln2. Yeah, so if common difference of this series is ln2, then what will be the common ratio of this GP? It will be simply 2. Okay, common difference here is ln2, so I will take antilog of that also. So I'll get the common ratio of this GP will be r equal to 2. Now, so this particular series will be something like this: b1, then b1 multiplied by 2, so it will be 2b1, then it will be 2 square b1, and then till 101 term, so this will be 2 power 100 b1. So this is the geometric series, this is geometric progression, and it is also given that suppose a1 to a101, this is an AP such that a1 is equal to b1, right? So there is another series also which is a1, a2, a3 till a101, and this is an arithmetic progression, and it is also given that a1 is equal to b1. First terms of these two series are equal. a1 is equal to b1, and also it is given that a51 is equal to b51. Okay, so what will be a51? A51 I can simply write it as a1 plus 50 times of common difference. So let me assume that common difference is capital D. So this will be equal to b51, and b51 will be simply 2 power 50 into b1. Right, now I know that a1 is equal to b1. Right, so here simply I can say that this is a1 plus 50d is equal to 2 power 50 times a1. Okay, b1 is equal to a1. So from here I can find out the value of d very easily. Okay, so this is one equation that we get. Now let's read further. It says that if t is summation of b1 to b51 and s is summation of this series from a1 to a51. So what is t? T is b1 to b51. So t is b1 plus b2 is 2b1, b3 is 2 square b2, b1 sorry, until b51. So this will be 2 power 50 b1. So if I take b1 common, I'll simply get a GPI 1 plus 2 square till 2 power 50. So if I solve this GP, what I'll get is 2 power 51 minus 1 and divided by 2 minus 1, which is just 1, right? So t will be this. Just I am applying summation of GP, right? And what will be s? S is nothing but a1 to a51. So s is a1 plus a2 plus a3 till a51. So this is nothing but this will be number of terms divided by 2 and 2a1 plus n minus 1, that is 50 times d, right? I'll get this. Now what I can do is I can simply put the value of d here. So I know that 51 by 2, I can write this quantity as a1, 2a1 I can write it as a1 plus a1. Why? Because I know the value of a1 plus 50d directly. So I'll use that directly. a1 plus 50d is directly I can write it as 2 power 50 a1. So this term is a1 plus 2 power 50 a1, right? So here I'll get this as a1 will be common, so I can write this as 51 a1 by 2 plus 51 by 2 into 2 power 50 times a1, right? I'll get this. So look at these two equations. This is nothing but small s, right? This is small s and this is t. So from here we can see that what is t? T is, and b1 is equal to a1. So I can say this is a1 times 2 power 51, right, and minus a1. So I can say that this term is lesser than 2 power 50 1 into a1, because I am subtracting something. So if I am subtracting something, then this term is actually less than 2 power 50 1 into a1, right? It will be lesser than this term because I am subtracting something. So t is lesser than this. Okay, t is lesser than this. And what about s1? S1 contains this term, right? And here, from here I can say that s is greater than 2 power 51 into a1, right? S will be greater than this term 2 power 51 into a1, because here I can see clearly, right, like 2 power 50 into a1 is there. Then I'm multiplying by a very big factor, right? This will be around 25. Okay, 25.5. So that is a very big factor, right? So this s will be surely greater than 2 power 51 into a1. So t is a quantity which is less than 2 power 51 into a1, and s is quantity which is greater than a1 into 2 power 51. So both are same only, right? So s will be definitely greater than t. So one thing I know for sure, that s is greater than t. So we can eliminate some of the options now. Second thing which they have asked is, from the options I definitely know that s is greater than t, so either answer will be a or answer will be b. Now I have to check which of a101 or b101, इन दोनों में से कौन बड़ा है, right? So which is greater out of a1. So what is a101? A101 will be a1 plus 100d. And what will be b101? B101 will be 2 power 100 into b1. Now a101, this is a1 plus 100 times, what is the value of d? The value of d we have already found out. This is 2 power 50 into a1 minus a1 divided by 50. This is the value of d. So I'm simply substituting the value of d here in this equation. So this will come out to be, if I simplify this, I'll get a1 plus this will get cancelled, this will come 2 times, so I'll get 2 power 51 into a1 minus 2 times a1. So this will be 2 power 51 minus a1, 2 power 51 into a1 minus a1. So from here again I can see that this term a101, this term is lesser than 2 power 51 into a1, and b101 is 2 power 100 into a1. b1 is equal to a1, right? So this term is obviously greater than 2 power 51 into a1, right? It's 2 power 100, so it will obviously be greater than 2 power 50, right? So obviously we can say that b101 should be greater than a101. So right answer for this question will be b101 is greater, so answer will be option B. Answer will be option B. So this was a question from sequence and series, which was this was not so lengthy, right? If you could do calculation little quickly, then you could manage in time. So hardly it takes 2 or 3 minutes, and you get 3 minutes time in JEE to solve the questions like this. Let's move on to question number 41. Here options are not visible clearly, but that's not required. What are the options? This is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this is a definite integration, question of definite integration. So obviously we have to use the properties. E power x. Now we know a property, we know a King's property, right? Which is, like, suppose if I replace x with a plus b minus x, so that is pi by 2 plus minus pi by 2 minus x, right? So if I replace x with a plus b minus x, then also the value of integration will remain same. So if I say this is I, and then if I use this property, then this integration will become minus pi by 2. Limits will remain same, they don't change. Here I'll get minus x whole square into cos x. Cos of minus x will be cos x, right? So I'm simply writing cos x. Minus x whole square will also be x square, so numerator will remain same. Denominator will become 1 plus e power minus x and dx. Now if I add these two equations, I'll get I equal to, or actually 2i equal to minus pi by 2, 2 pi by 2, and x square cos x will come out common, and what I'll get here is 1 by e power x plus 1 by 1 plus e power minus x. So 1 e power minus x I can write as 1 by e power x, and if I take LCM I'll get e power x here and e power x here, right? So if I add this two, it will become 1. Right, now LCM is this, so this quantity will actually become 1, so this quantity will go away. So from here I can simply say that I is 1 by 2 times minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 x square cos x and dx. Now this is a very easy question. This is an even function. X square cos x is even function. If I replace x by minus x, there will be no change in definition of the function. So this is even, so I can simply remove this minus pi by 2 and I can write it 0, and I can make it twice because this is an even function, so it will be symmetric about y-axis. So its value of integration will be same on both sides of y-axis. So I will come out to be, this 2 will get cancelled. I'll get 0 to pi by 2 x square cos x. X square cos x I can simply solve by applying integration by parts. Now if I apply integration by parts, I'll get first function into integration of second function, that is integration of cos will be sin x minus differentiation of first into sin x into dx. So I'll get this, and if I simplify further, again I can apply integration by parts. So I'll take this as the first function into integration of second, so minus cos x minus plus differentiation of x, integration of sin x is minus cos x, so this will become plus, and dx. I'll get this, right? So this is I equal to x square sin x, this minus plus 2x cos x, and here I'll get minus 2 times integration of cos x, that's sin x, and now I can put the limits, which are pi by 2 and 0. So if I put x equal to pi by 2, I'll get pi square by 4 plus this term will become 0 minus 2 this thing minus, if I put x equal to 0, I'll get everything as 0. So your final answer will be pi square minus 2. Pi square by 4 minus 2. This will be the value of I. So which is the correct option? This was a very easy question. Actually, if you know the properties of definite integration, and that too it's a very famous property, right? So option A will be correct. That is pi square by 4 minus 2. So very easy question this was. And question number 42. Question number 42 says that let P be the image of this point with respect to this plane. This plane is x minus y plus z equal to 3. Okay. And then the equation of the plane passing through P and containing this straight line, right? X by 1 is equal to y by 2 is equal to z by 1. This is the straight line which is given in the question. This is the plane which is given in the question. So we need to find out, first of all we need to find out point P, which is image of this point in this plane, right? So how to find out image of a point in a plane? We know direct formula for this. Take everything towards left side, and then what is the formula? The formula is x minus 3, here I write y minus 1, so use the point, right? And z minus 7 divided by this 1 minus 1 and 1. What is normal to the plane? Normal to the plane is 1 minus 1 1, and this equal to minus 2 times. We are finding out image, right? We are not finding out foot of perpendicular. So I'll use minus 2 times, put this point in this, so that I'll get 3 minus 1 plus 7 minus 3 and divided by under root of not under root, a square plus b square plus c square, right? So 1 square plus minus 1 square plus 1 square. I'll get this, and this quantity, how much is this quantity? Solve it. So 3 will get cancelled, so I'll get 6 by 3, which is 2, so this will be minus 4. Okay, so from here I can find out the values of x, y and z. So x will be minus 4 plus 3, y will be 4 plus 1, and z will be 1 into minus 4, so minus 4 plus 7. So x will be minus 1, 5 and 3. So point P is actually minus 1, 5 and 3. This is image of that point in this plane. Okay, minus 1, 5, 3. This is the image. Now I got the image. Now what I have to find out is, I want to find out equation of plane passing through this point P and containing this straight line. So I want to find out equation of a plane which is something like this. There is a plane, it contains this straight line, and equation of this straight line is x by 1 is equal to y by 1 is y by 2 is equal to z by 1. Okay, so definitely origin is lying on this straight line. Origin is because x minus 0, y minus 0, z minus 0. So 0 comma 0 comma 0. Origin is definitely lying on this plane. If it is lying on this line, it will lie on the plane also. We know one more point, which is P, which is the image of that point, which was minus 1, 5, 3. So I know 2 points which are lying on this, and I also know the direction of this line, which is 1 comma 2 comma 1. Okay, so I can how to find out equation of plane? I can find out equation of plane. This point, let me name all the points. This point is O. This direction is, let me say, P vector, small p vector. Alright, or you can say small q vector, because this point is already P, right? So if I join these 2 points, I'll get OP, right? So OP is another vector which is lying in this plane. If I take cross product of OP and this vector, OP cross Q, then I'll get normal to this vector. I'll get a normal, and one side, this is normal, right? So let me find out normal vector. So I'll get I cap, J cap, K cap, and OP vector is nothing but O is simply 0, right? So OP vector will be this, cross Q is 1 2 1. So 1 2 1 here, minus 1 5 3 here. If I simplify this, I'll get 5 minus 6. So this is minus 1 minus j times minus 1 and minus 3. So minus 4 plus k times this and this gone. So minus 2 minus 5. So minus 7. So this vector is minus 1, n vector. Normal vector is minus 1 4 minus 7. Minus 1 4 minus 7 is n vector. And so now I can write equation of plane by using this. R dot n is equal to A dot n. What is A? A is some point which is lying on this plane, right? So I can take A as origin, because I know that origin is lying on this plane. Okay, so R will be x y z dot n vector is minus 1 4 minus 7, and this will be equal to 0, because dot product of any vector with origin will be 0. So I'll get minus x plus 4y minus 7z will be equal to 0. And if I take minus sign common, our answer will be plus 7z equal to 0. This is the final answer. This is the equation of the plane which is passing through point P, and also it is containing the straight line which is given in the question. So this will be the answer. Here there is a minus sign. So this question was also very easy. You just need to apply the formula of image of point, and once you find out the image of that point, then it's very easy to write down the equation of plane. This was a question one cannot afford to miss in exam, right? Because all of them who are getting selected, they might have solved this question. Very easy question. Okay, now let's look at question number 43. Question number 43 is this is more than one correct answer, right? So question number 43 is, if AB is element of R, there is a function f which is defined from R to R, and this function fx is something like this: a times cos mod of x cube minus x plus b times mod x into sine of mod x cube plus x. So if I look at this function, it's a very difficult function, right? Just by seeing at the function, it seems that it's a very difficult function. But if I manipulate this a little bit, this is cos mod of something, right? So this is, suppose this is theta, so cos mod theta will always be cos theta. Why? Because whether this mod opens in plus sign or whether it opens in minus sign, cos of theta and cos of minus theta, both of them will be theta only, right? So this mod, I can simply remove it. So this is nothing but simply cos of x cube minus x. Mod will just go away, right? And this quantity, this is nothing but b times mod x. This is sin x into, now if I take mod x common, I'll get mod x into x square plus 1. X square plus 1 is always positive quantity, and here I have mod x. Now if I look at this function very carefully, it is something like this: sin x into mod x into sin of k mod x. Let me consider this to be some positive constant, right? So if x is positive, both mod will open in with plus sign, so I'll get this. If x is negative, both the mods will open with minus sign. So actually here I'll get sign of minus kx, and this minus sign will again come outside, and again it will become plus kx. So whether this mod opens with plus sign or whether it opens with minus sign, again both of them will be same only. So instead of this I can simply write b times x. Again I can simply remove the mod, and this will become x times x square plus 1. So I can simply write x cube plus x, and I can remove the mod. So this is the function which was given to you, and now it looks much simpler than the question. And now we can find out and check whether these options are correct or not. Differentiable at x equal to 0 if a is equal to 0. So if a is equal to 0, first case, if a is equal to 0, then fx will be b times x and sine of x cube plus x. So whether this is differentiable at x equal to 0 or not, that you have to check. So if I look at this function at x equal to 0, this function will be differentiable, right? Because I can find out the value of f dash x. If I find out the value of f dash x, it will come out to be b times first function into differentiation of this, that is cos of x cube plus x into 3x square plus 1 plus the second function into differentiation of first function, which is just 1. So definitely this is differentiable at x equal to 0. Alright, so option A is correct. Then let's look at the next option. Next option says that if A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 0, if B is equal to 0 and if A is equal to 1, then function will be this, cos of x cube minus x. So whether this function is differentiable or not at x equal to 1, that I have to check, right? So this function is differentiable or not at x equal to 1. So we can here say that like we can say like this is a continuous and differentiable function, right? Again this is a continuous and it is a differentiable function. In fact, if I look at this function, right, if I look at fx in general, this is fx, right? So this is a continuous and differentiable function. This is also a continuous and differentiable function. So this is like sum of two continuous function is also continuous. So fx is always continuous, and both the functions are differentiable, right? So I can say that differentiable plus differentiable, fx is always differentiable also. So this function fx which was given to you, it is always continuous and differentiable. So option A is definitely correct. It is differentiable at x equal to 0. It is differentiable at x equal to 1. It's given it's not differentiable at x equal to 0. That's not true. It is differentiable and it is differentiable, right? So A and B will be the correct answer. Wherever it says that it is differentiable, those options are correct. Here A and B are the correct answers. Okay, let's move on to next question now. Next question says that suppose if this is fx, limit x n tending to infinity, n is tending to infinity. Okay, then we have to check for all these options. Now this is a question of limit of sum. So here what we can do is, if I first of all I should take ln both sides, right, so that I can convert this question to, now this is a question in pi, right, everything is getting multiplied. So if I take ln both sides, then I'll get summation sign also. So this will be limit n tending to infinity, and if I take ln both sides, I'll get x by n and ln of this quantity. So ln of this quantity will be how much? Ln of this thing, and this thing is nothing but n power n x plus. So what I can do is I can just take out n common from all this. If I take n common from all this, what will I get? N common from all this, so I can just write it like this, right? 1 plus the general term, it will be 1 plus r by n. Okay, if I divide n everywhere, right? So this is I have n power n here. So what I'll do is I'll divide it here, right? 1 by n power n. So what I'll get is this n will get cancelled. So I'll get 1 by n, 2 by n, 3 by n, like that. Alright, so I can write the general term as x plus r by n, and this is pi. Okay, it's getting multiplied, so r going from 1 to n, this thing divided by again here I'll get x square plus 1 by r square by n square. Okay, r square by n square. Again I am doing same thing. What I am doing is uh, again I am taking this outside, right? So 1 plus r by n whole square. Okay, so this is, here I have x plus n by 2, something like this, right? And denominators are x square plus n square, x square plus n square by 4. Alright, so this is nothing but here if I look at this term, this is n by 1, this is n by 2. Alright, so this is n by r, x plus n by r. The same thing I have written it as x plus 1 by r by n, right? Because I am more concerned about r by n. So the same thing I have written it as 1 by r by n, and here also similarly 1 by r square plus n square. Okay, I am writing it like this, and this multiplied by I'll get 1 by here see I have n power n and here I have n factorial. So n factorial is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till n, and n power n is like n like this, right? So this is again nothing but n by 1, n by 2, n by 3. So this is nothing but n by r. So again the same quantity I am writing it as 1 by r by n, and we can apply pi here, right? Pi because it is product. So r will go from 1 to n. Here also r will go from 1 to n. So this entire thing is in product, right? So if I take ln, it will get converted to sigma. Okay, so this quantity will become something like this. X is constant, so that I can take outside. So I'll get limit n tending to infinity 1 by n. This will be ln. Now if I apply sigma notation, okay, so I can write this as sigma r will go from 1 to n, and I'll get ln of the general term. So this will be nothing but x plus 1 by r by n. Okay, this divided by x square plus 1 by r square by n square. Okay, this and 1 by r by n, this, right? Now we know whenever we are using limit of sum, what is the concept? The concept is I'll replace sigma with integration sign. I'll replace r by n with some variable. So let me say here, let me take variable as t because x is already in use, and 1 by n I'll replace by dt, right? So this entire thing will get converted to an integration. So I'll get ln of x, which was left hand side, this will be equal to x times 1 by n is nothing but dt. Okay, this sigma sign will get converted to integration, and here I'll get ln of x plus 1 by t divided by x square plus 1 by t square multiplied by 1 by t. This entire thing is inside ln. Alright, so now I have to integrate this, and what will be the limit? R is going from 1 to n. So that means r by n, if I divide this entire equation by n, r by n is t, so t will go from, n is tending to infinity, so 1 by n will be 0, so t will go from 0 to 1. So limits will be 0 and 1, right? Now I can integrate this and find out the value of fx. Now it's very easy. So this is 0 to 1, and here I'll get how much? Here I'll get ln of if I take LCM, right, so this will be xt plus 1 by t whole divided by x square t square plus 1 divided by t square. Okay, and here also I have t square, so this thing will get cancelled, right? So basically I'll get this into dt. Okay, so if I write it more nicely without t square, this will be xt plus 1 divided by xt whole square plus 1, right? Something like this. Now I can substitute x into t as z. Here x is constant, right? So x times dt is dz. Alright, so I'll get ln of fx is equal to x times, what will be the limits? If t is 0, z will be 0. If t is 1, z will be x. Ln of z plus 1 divided by z square plus 1. I have to integrate this, and dt is dz by x. Okay, so this x and this x will get cancelled. Okay, because x is constant, it will go outside. So I just need to integrate this. Now from here I can say that ln fx is equal to this quantity, right? Ln fx is equal to this quantity. Now if I differentiate both sides, what will I get? I'll get 1 by fx into f dash x. If I differentiate ln of x, I'll get this. And if I differentiate this by using Leibniz rule, derivative of antiderivative, right? So here I'll get ln of x plus 1 divided by x square plus 1. Okay, so this will be the value of f dash x divided by fx. Now that I know the value of f dash x divided by fx, now I can check the options. Right, options are f of 1 by 2 is greater than f1, f of 1 by 3 is, now see here, f dash x is 0 at which point? F dash x, alright, f dash x is equal to 0 when this quantity is equal to 0. So ln of x plus 1 divided by x square plus 1 is equal to 0, because fx will not be 0, right? So if fx will not be 0, this quantity will be 0 when x plus 1 divided by x square plus 1 will be e power 0, which is 1. That means x plus 1 equal to x square plus 1. That means x equal to x square. That means x equal to 0 and x equal to 1. But I can't take x equal to 0 because it's given in the question that x is positive. It's given in the question that x is greater than 0. So there will be only one critical point, that's x equal to 1. So f dash x will be equal to 0 at x equal to 1, right? It's given in the question that x is greater than 0. So this is 0, this is 1 and this is infinity, right? If this is number line. So here at x equal to 1, f dash x is 0. If x is greater than 1, then f dash x will be this, the sign will be negative, and if f dash x, sign of f dash x here will be positive, right? If x is less than 1, then I'll get a positive quantity. If x is greater than 1, then I'll get a negative quantity. Okay, so in this case, here the function is between 0 and 1, the function is increasing, right? Between 0 and 1 the function is increasing, and after 1 function is decreasing, right? So between 0 and 1 the function is increasing. So if function is increasing, which all options are correct? Now I can check the options. Between 0 and 1 function is increasing, so these two values are between 0 and 1. So 1 is greater than 1 by 2, so f of 1 by 2 should be greater than f of 1 by 2, right? So this option is not correct, option A is not correct, right? And here 2 by 3 is greater than 1 by 3, so obviously f of 2 by 3 should be greater than f of 1 by 3. This is correct. Option C is f dash 2, right? This is f dash 2 less than equal to 0. F dash 2 is nothing but, here we can see, check from here, right? F dash 1 is 0, f dash 2 will be negative quantity, right? It is a negative quantity. So yes, we can say from here that f dash 2 will be a negative quantity less than equal to 0. That's correct. And we need to check option D also, that is f dash 3 divided by f dash, yeah, so that we can find it out from here. Okay, what we have to check is, put x equal to 3, I'll get the value of f dash 3 by f3 minus, I have to find out the value of this quantity, right? So this will come out to be ln of, if I put x equal to 3, I'll get 4 by 9 plus 1 10 minus ln of, here I'll get 2 plus 1 3 by 4 plus 1 5. So I'll get this, and this is equal to nothing but 4 by 10 and it's division, right? So 5 by 3. So this will be 5 into 2, and this will, so this is ln 2 by 3. Okay, now what we have to check, whether this is less than or greater than, right? So ln 2 by 3, that's that will be a positive quantity or a negative quantity. Graph of ln is like this, at x equal to 1 it's 0, so 2 by 3 will be somewhere here, so this will be a negative quantity. If this is a negative quantity, then that means this will be a negative quantity, so this quantity will be lesser than this quantity, right? And what is the option? In option it is opposite, it's given that this quantity is greater than equal to this thing, so that's wrong option. So in this question, question number 44, this will not be the correct answer, right? So the correct options are B and C only. These two options are correct. Option D is wrong, option A is also wrong. So this was a question from limit of sum, an easy question but a little calculative, right? So you just have to remember this, that whenever there is a question of limit of sum, you have to make the following replacements to convert the question of limit of sum to integration. Let's look at this question number 3. That's question 45 actually in the paper. So there is a function which is defined from R to 0 to infinity. So this is domain and codomain. G is defined from R to R, and G be the twice differentiable functions. Both of them are twice differentiable functions. F double dash and G double dash are continuous functions. Okay, F double dash and G double dash are continuous. Suppose that F dash 2 is equal to G of 2 is equal to 0, and also it is given that F double dash 2 is not equal to 0 and G dash 2 is also not equal to 0. Okay, then it's also given that limit of this quantity is given at x tending to 2, that is fx multiplied by gx divided by f dash x multiplied by g dash x, and this limit is 1. If this limit is 1, actually what I can do is here see f dash 2 is 0, so this is 0 by 0 form. This limit is actually 0 by 0 form, so I can use L'Hopital. L'Hopital is I can differentiate the numerator and denominator. So if I differentiate numerator and denominator, I'll get fx into g dash x plus gx into f dash x divided by f dash x into g double dash x plus g dash x into f double dash x, and this quantity is equal to 1. Now limit x is tending to 2, right? So I can simply put the value of x as 2. So I can simply put the value of x as 2. If I put x equal to 2, I'll get this, and we know that f dash 2 and g of 2, both of them are 0. F dash 2 and g of 2, that's given in the question. So this is 0 and g of 2 is also 0. So f dash is 0, right? So this quantity is also 0. So actually what will be left out, this quantity will be left out. So this is f2 into g dash 2 divided by g dash 2 into f double dash 2, and this will be equal to 1. Now g dash 2 is not equal to 0, so I can cancel it out. So from here I'll get f double dash 2 is equal to f2. So clearly option D is correct, right? Option D says that fx minus f double dash x is equal to 0 for at least one real value of x, and this equation is true at x equal to 2, right? If x is equal to 2, so this equation has at least one real x, right? And that is x equal to 2. So option D is definitely correct. Out of option A and B, one of them will be correct, right? Because either there will be a local minima at x equal to 2 or there will be a local maxima at x equal to 2. So at x equal to 2 we have to check out whether there is a local maxima or there is a local minima. Now see, what is, we are getting this, right? We are getting f double dash 2 is equal to f2, and we know that this function, right, this function is the output of this function, right, the range of this function, that's 0 to infinity, right? So value of this function will always be positive, so f2 will be a positive quantity. If f2 is a positive quantity, that means f double dash 2 is also a positive quantity. So at x equal to 2, if f double dash 2 is positive quantity, that means it will be concave upwards, and if the graph is concave upwards, that means at x equal to 2 I'll get a minima. We know this, right? If f double dash is positive, it will be concave up. If f double dash is negative, it will be concave down. If it is concave up, I'll get a minima. If it is concave down, I'll get a maxima. In this case it is concave up, so I'll get a minima. So option A is correct, option D is correct, option B is incorrect. And here it says that f double dash 2 is greater than f2. That's not correct, it's equal to, right? So this is not correct. So correct answer would be in this case A and D. For this question, A and D are correct. This was a very easy question. I think those who are given JEE, they might have definitely done this question in exam. 46, question number 46 says that there is a vector u which is u1 I cap plus u2 j cap plus u3 k cap, and this is a unit vector. This is given in the question, so that means magnitude, this is u cap actually, right? So u cap is unit vector, so magnitude of u cap will be 1. Alright, it's also given that there is another vector w cap which is 1 by root 6 into I cap plus j cap plus 2k cap, and given that there exists a vector v in R cube such that it's also given that u cap cross v vector, this thing is equal to 1, and it is also given in the question that w cap dot u cap cross v vector, this thing is equal to 1. This box product is equal to 1, right? This is nothing but box product. Now we have to choose the following options, right? Which of the following options are correct? Okay, so omega, this w and u, both of them are unit vectors. So if I apply the definition of dot product here, what is the definition of dot product? A dot b is mod a mod b cos theta. So this will be mod of w magnitude of u cap cross v, this is another vector, into cos of theta. What is theta? Theta is angle between this vector and this vector, this entire vector, and this should be equal to 1. Now I already know that this is a unit vector, right? W cap, it is a unit vector, so this will be just 1. So from here I'll get nothing but, and what will be this quantity? Magnitude of u cap cross v cap, right? This quantity, this is also 1. It's given in the question. See here it's given. So this is also 1. So from here I'll get cos theta equal to 1. If cos theta is 1, that means theta will be 0 degree. That means direction of these two vectors are same. Okay, u cap cross v and w cap, the directions are same. Alright, so at least we got to know one thing. Okay, and we also know this thing, right? We also know that so directions are same. U cap cross v is in the direction of w cap. Okay, both of them are parallel vectors because angle between them is 0, and we also know that their magnitudes are also same. Direction is same because angle between them is 0. Magnitudes are 1. Both of them are unit vectors. This is also a unit vector and w cap is also unit vectors. So their magnitudes are also same. Directions are also same. So that means these two vectors are equal. Alright, they will be equal. Now from here if I again apply the definition of, so I got this result, right? Number 1. Again if I apply the definition of cross product, so this will be mod u into mod of v vector into sine theta, and this will be equal to mod of w vector. So this is 1, this is mod of v vector into sine theta, and this will be 1, right? So from here I'll get mod v vector into sine theta, this will be 1, right? So suppose if I consider this as u cap, right? This is a unit vector u, and w, v is somewhere like this, right? Let me assume that v is somewhere like this. So this angle is theta, okay, or let me name this angle as, because if there is confusion, let me take this angle as alpha. Okay, what is alpha? Alpha is angle between u cap and v. So alpha is this angle. If this vector is v vector, so magnitude of this vector, length of this vector will be mod v. Okay, so this length will be mod of v sine theta. Okay, so if I suppose this point as p, okay, if this distance is 1 unit, right, so I can take infinite points which are at a distance of 1 unit from this unit vector u, right? So if I can take infinite points which are at a distance of 1 from this vector, p can be here, p can be here, p can be here, so there are infinite number of points p which are at a distance of 1 unit from this vector u. So that means infinite number of v vectors are possible. So let's look at the options. There is exactly one choice for such v, that's wrong. There are infinitely many choices for such v, yes, that is correct, right? Infinitely many vectors are possible. Why infinitely many vectors are possible which satisfy this condition? Because if I take any point p which is at a distance of 1 unit from this unit vector u, then this length will always be mod of v sin theta will always be 1. So this condition is getting satisfied. So there can be infinitely many vectors, right? Now let's look at option C and D. Option C and D is u cap lies in xy plane. If u cap lies in xy plane, then mod u1 will be equal to mod u2. Acha, so if u cap lies in xy plane, that means u3 will be 0, right? Z component will be 0. So for option C, u3 will be 0. If u3 is 0, then we have to say we have to connect u1 and u2, right? So we have to find a relation between u1 and u2. We know this, right? U cap cross v, this magnitude is equal to 1, right? If we know this, then let's find out the magnitude of u cap cross v. So that will come out to be, this is u1, this is u2, this is u3. u3 is 0, so let me just write 0 here, and here I can just write v1 v2 v3. Let me take vector v as v1 v2 v3, v1 I cap, v2 j cap, and v3 k cap. This magnitude should be 1. Alright, so let's find out the vector first, right? Let's find out the vector first and let's compare that with w, right? So we know this, right, actually. So u cap cross v, this is equal to w. Okay, so whatever vector comes out from here, that should be equal to w. We already know w vector, right? This vector we already know w cap. So I'll get I cap, here I'll get u2 v3 minus j cap, here I'll get u1 v3 and my plus k cap, here I'll get u1 v2 minus v1 u2, and this vector is this entire thing, this is equal to 1 by root 6 comma, what is vector w? 1 by root 6 comma 1 by root 6 comma 2 by root 6, right? So I can say that this quantity, okay, if I compare this to u2 into v3, this is equal to 1 by root 6, and also minus u1 into v3, this is also equal to 1 by root 6. Now if I divide these two equations, this v3 will get cancelled, so I'll get u2 by minus u1, this is equal to 1, so u2 is equal to minus u1, right? But if I take mod of both of them, if I take mod, then mods will be equal, right? This is mod u1 only. So option C is correct. Mod of u1 will be equal to mod of u2. Similarly, we can check D also, option D also. If u lies on xz plane, then y component will be 0. So y component is u2. u2 will be 0. Again I can do this I, j, k. Here I will write u1, u2 is 0. u3, v1, v2, v3. And this vector is equal to 1 by root 6, 1 by root 6 and 2 by root 6. So again I can compare. So again if you will compare, what I'll get is, I'll get I cap. So let me just compare directly, right? So I cap, what will I get with I cap? With I cap I'll get minus v2, here there's 0, right? So minus v2 u3, okay, minus v2 into u3, this is equal to 1 by root 6, and here I'll get u1 into, with k cap I'll get u1 into v2, and this is equal to 2 by root 6. Now if I divide this two, then what will get cancelled? here this is V2, right, minus V2 into U3. Yeah, so V2 will get cancelled. So if I divide this 2, I'll get U3 minus U3 divided by U1 equal to 1 by 2. So if I apply mod both sides, so I'll get 2 times mod U3 equal to mod of U1. Alright, so option D, what is option D? It says U 2 times U1 equal to U3. What I am getting here, 2 times U3 equal to U1, right? So that's wrong option. 2 should have been this side. So this option is wrong. Option B and C are correct. B and C are correct option. If this 2 was this side, if it was like this, then it would have been correct option. But here this is wrong, right? 2 is on the wrong side. So correct answer will be B and C only. Okay, now question number 5. This is question number 47 in the paper. So this question is from coordinate geometry, and coordinate geometry questions are really very easy, right? So point P is a point on parabola y square equal to 4x, and which is point P is a point on parabola which is at the shortest distance from center S of the circle. So let me draw the diagram first, right? Because in coordinate geometry, without drawing the diagram, nothing is clear. So what is the circle? Parabola is y square equal to 4x. So parabola will be like this. Okay, and circle is x square plus y square minus 4x minus 16y plus 64 equal to 0. So center of this circle is 2 comma 8 minus g comma minus f. So this is the center, and what is this? Let me say this is S. Okay, because center is S of the circle. And what will be the radius? Radius of this circle will be g square plus f square. So that's 464 minus 64. So this will be 2, right? Radius of this circle will be 2. So this center will be somewhere here, 2 comma 8, and the circle is like this, a very small circle of radius 2. Okay, so the circle is like this. Yeah, this center is 2 comma 8, and from here there is a point P which is at a shortest distance, right? So point P will be along the common normal, right? Shortest distance is always among the common normal. So this line is normal to both parabola also, and it is normal to the circle also. If I draw tangent at point P, that will be perpendicular to this line, because this is normal and this is tangent, right? So I need to find out the coordinates of point P first of all, then everything I can find out. So what I'll do is, let me consider this point P as 80 square comma 280. In parametric A is 1, so I'll take this point as t square comma 2t. Alright, so if I find out slope of tangent at this point, so if I differentiate this, I'll get 2y dash equal to 4. So y dash will be 2 by y, and what is y? Y is 2t, so slope is 1 by t. So this is slope of normal. So what will be slope of this is slope of tangent, so slope of normal will be minus t. Slope of normal will be minus t. So if I write down the equation of tangent, if I write down the equation of normal, that will be y minus y1 equal to slope times x minus t square. So this is equation of normal, right? And this equation will pass through 2 comma 8. Normal has to pass through 2 comma 8, right? So y is 8 and this will be 2. So here I'll get 8 minus 2t. This will be equal to minus 2t plus t cube. So this will get cancelled, and from here I'll get t equal to 2. So if t is equal to 2, point P will be 4 comma 2. 4 comma 4, sorry. Okay, so point P I already got it, that is 4 comma 4, and now your life is very much asan, right? SP, what will be SP? Point S is 2 comma 8. So we can apply distance formula to find out SP. This will be 2 square plus 4 square, so this will be 4 plus 16 under root of 20, and this will be nothing but 2 root 5. So option A is correct. Now in second option I have to find out this ratio, right? That is SQ divided by QP. What is Q? Q is a point that divides. What is Q? Q is a point on the circle dividing the line segment SP internally, right? So this point is Q. So I need to find out this point also, coordinates of this point also. So how to find out coordinates of point Q? Or actually that's not required, because I need to find out SQ by QP, right? So SQ is radius, right? So SQ is simply 2, and QP is SP minus radius, right? So that's 2 root 5 minus 2. So this will come out to be 1 by root 5 minus 1, and if I rationalize this, root 5 plus 1, root 5 plus 1, so I'll get root 5 plus 1 divided by 5 minus 1, this will be 4. Okay, so this will be the ratio. What is given in the options is root 5 plus 1 is to 2 is given, right? So that will not be the correct option. Root 5 plus 1 is to 4 is the correct option. So this is wrong, this is correct. X intercept of the normal to the parabola at P is 6. Okay, so if I write down normal to the parabola at P, what will be the equation of normal at 4 comma 4? At 4 comma 4, equation of normal will be, this is the equation, right? Actually this is the equation. Here I have already written the equation. So this will be y, t is equal to 2. So if t is equal to 2, y minus 4 is equal to minus 2 times x minus 4. So y equal to minus 2 plus 8 plus 4 minus 2x, right? Minus 2x plus wait a minute, equation of normal at 4 comma 4, right? So suppose this is the parabola, right? So let this point be point P, and I have to write down equation of normal, and then I have to find out x intercept. This point is 4 comma 4. So dy by dx will be 2y y dash equal to 4. So y dash is 2 by y, that is 1 by 2. This is slope of tangent. So slope of normal will be minus 2, and equation of normal will be y minus 4 is equal to minus 2 times x minus 4. So minus 2x plus 4 to the 8. So this will be minus 2x plus 12. Yeah, same equation only. So here I have to find out what? I have to find out x intercept, right? So I'll put y equal to 0. So if I put y equal to 0, I'll get x as 6. So that should be 6. Yeah, so that's the correct option. Right, so that's given, that it is given here that x intercept of the normal to the parabola is 6. So this is correct option. And slope of tangent to the circle at Q, here what is the slope of tangent? Okay, this is given to be 1 by 2. So here slope, if I want to find out slope at this particular point, what is slope of normal? Slope of normal is this, right? Minus t, that means minus 2. So slope of tangent will be 1 by 2. That's correct, right? These two lines are perpendicular. So slope of this line is minus t, that is minus 2. So this will be 1 by 2. So this is also correct. So option which were correct are A, C, D. B is not correct. Okay, so A, C, D is correct answer for this question. This was a very easy question. I think all of you must solve this question in exam. Okay, then we have question number 48. AB is element of R, A square plus B square is not equal to 0. And suppose S is equal to Z element of some C such that Z is equal to 1 by A plus iota BT, where T is element of real number and T is not equal to 0, where iota is root minus 1, Z is equal to X plus iota Y. Okay, this is also given. Z is some subset of, Z is some element of S, and X, then X comma Y lies on. Alright, so it's given that Z is X plus iota Y, and also it is given that Z is picked up from this set. Okay, so I need to solve this, right? So if I take conjugate of this and equate, right? So conjugate of this will be A minus iota BT, A minus iota BT. So I'll get nothing but x plus iota y, this will be equal to a minus iota bt divided by a square plus b square t square, right? Iota square will be minus 1. So from here if I compare, I'll get x equal to a by a square plus b square t square, and I'll get y as minus bt divided by a square plus b square t square, right? So these are the values of x and y that I'm getting. Now this xy lies on what, right? So if I eliminate t from here, I'll get some equation, right? So I have to check, and that equation will be an equation of circle. So I have to find out the center and the radius of that particular circle. So if I eliminate t from here, how to eliminate t from here? For eliminating t from here, what we can do is just divide this two equation, right? So I'll get y by x. If I divide this two, I'll get y by x as minus bt by a. So from here I know that t is equal to minus ay by bx, right? This is the value of t. Now I can put this value in any one of the equation. Okay, so I'll get if I put this in this equation, if I put the value of t, then I'll get x is equal to x multiplied by actually a square plus b square t square. T square is a square y square divided by b square x square, this entire thing equal to a, right? So here I'll get x into a square b square will get cancelled, a square y square divided by x square, this is equal to a, right? So this is nothing but a square I can take common, x is outside, so I'll get 1 plus y square by x square equal to a. So a will get cancelled, so ax 1 plus y square by x square is equal to 1, right? So from here I'll get ax plus, I can take LCM actually, right? So I'll get y square plus x square equal to x square, right? So x will get cancelled, so I'll just write x. So this is the equation of circle, right? So this is equation of circle, that is I can write it like this, x square plus y square minus 1 by a into x. If I take this a to the other side, so this is the equation of circle that I'm getting. And now if I form perfect squares, this will be x square minus, I can write this quantity as 2 times 1 by a into 2 times 1 by 2a into x, right? So I need to add 1 by 4a whole square, and I need to subtract 1 by 4a whole square. Okay, and this will be equal plus y square, this will be equal to 0. Now this is perfect square, so I can write this quantity as 1x by x minus 1 by 2a whole square plus y square is equal to 1 by 4a whole square, right? 1 by 2a whole square actually, 1 by 2a whole square, b square, right? So 1 by 2a whole square. So what is center and radius? Center is 1 by 2a comma 0 and the radius is 1 by 2a. Now check, center radius is 1 by 2a, center is 1 by 2a comma 0. So this is the correct option. Option A is correct. Okay, radius is in option 2 it is given radius is negative, right? So that's not correct. This is not correct. A is positive. Then C, x comma y lies on x-axis if a is not equal to 0 and b is equal to 0, right? So if a is not equal to 0, let's look at these two equations. Alright, if I look at these two equations here, this is x and y, right? So if a is not equal to 0 and if b is equal to 0, that means x will not be equal to 0 and y will be equal to 0, because if b is 0, y will be 0, right? So this point will lie on x-axis. Option C is correct, and option D is if a is equal to 0 and b is not equal to 0. So if a is equal to 0, x will be 0 and y will be non-zero. So this will lie on y-axis. Point will lie on y-axis. So option D is also correct. So correct answer for this question will be A, B is not correct, C and D. Right, A, C and D. These three options are correct. Okay. Now question number 49. Question number 49 based on Cramer's rule, right, for just two variables. So two linear equations are given to us, this and 3x minus 2y equal to mu. Alright, so here which of the following statements are correct? Okay, so this we have to find out. So first of all, tell me what is D. D is nothing but determinant of A 2 3 minus 2, right? This is D. What will be D1? D1 is, I'll replace the first column by constants, right? So D1 will be lambda mu and 2 minus 2, and D2 will be lambda mu A and 3, right? So these are the values of D, D1, D2, D3, right? This will be minus 2A minus 6. D1 is minus 2 lambda minus 2 mu. D2 is A mu minus 3 lambda. Alright, these are the values of D, D1, D2. So D will be equal to 0 when, if A is equal to, D will be 0, that means minus 2A minus 6 equal to 0. So 2A equal to minus 6. So A equal to minus 3, right? If A is minus 3, then D will be 0. Alright, so let's check the first option. If A is minus 3, then D will be 0. Alright, then the system of linear equation has infinite. Okay, if D is non-zero, then I get unique solution, and if D is 0, then either I'll get infinite solutions or I'll get no solutions. Alright, so option A says that if A is minus 3, then the system of linear equation has infinitely many solutions for all the values of lambda and mu. Alright, so if now let's check whether there will be infinite solutions or no solutions, right? So here what will be D2? D2 will be minus 3 mu minus 3 lambda, right? So here I am getting this as minus 2 times lambda plus mu, and I am getting here minus 3 times mu plus lambda. So if A is minus 3, then this 2, here I'll get lambda plus mu, and here also I'll get lambda plus mu. Okay, so in both of them I am getting lambda plus mu. So if lambda plus mu is 0, if lambda plus mu is equal to 0, then I'll get infinite solutions, because in that case D, D1, D2 everything will be 0, and if lambda plus mu is non-zero, in that case I'll get no solutions. Okay, so this is the case. Now check the options. Option A is definitely not correct, because infinitely many solutions I'll get if A is minus 3, and along with that A plus lambda should be equal to 0, mu plus lambda should be equal to 0 also, right? But this is not written anywhere. It's not true for all the values of lambda, definitely. If A is not equal to minus 3, in that case I'll get unique solution. That's correct. D will be non-zero. Okay, D will be non-zero, so I'll get unique solutions. This option is correct. If lambda plus mu is equal to 0, then the system has infinitely many solutions for A equal to minus 3. If A is minus 3 and lambda plus mu is also 0, then I'll get infinite solutions. That is also correct. If A is minus 3 and lambda plus mu is non-zero, then I'll get no solution. That is also correct. So correct options are B, C and D. This was a very easy question. Like if you know Cramer's rule, then you can easily solve this question, right? So there are only three cases, like actually, if either D is 0 or D is non-zero. If D is non-zero, I always get unique solution. If D is 0, either I'll get no solution or infinite solutions. So I'll get infinite solutions if along with D, D1 and D2 are also 0. But I'll get no solution if one of this, either D1 or D2, one of them is non-zero, right? So here D will be 0 if A is minus 3 in this question. If A is minus 3, then this will be 0. So A equal to minus 3, then I'll get either no solution or infinite solution. If A is not equal to minus 3, that means D not equal to 0, that means unique solution. If A equal to minus 3, that means D equal to 0, that means either no solution or infinite solutions. Then if I check the values of D1 and D2, if lambda plus mu is 0, then this 2 will also be 0. So in this case I'll get infinite solutions. If lambda plus mu is not equal to 0, then this 2 will be non-zero, so I'll get no solution. Okay, so this is how we use Cramer's rule. This is from Cramer's rule, which we study in determinants. So this was a very easy question. All of you must solve this question, because I think most of the students might have solved this question. Then let's look at question number 50. It says that there are two functions f and g which are defined like this. Domain is minus 1 by 2 to 2. So we are only concerned about this region and not about other regions. Fx was greatest integer of x square minus 3. Now since this minus 3 is an integer, so I can take it outside. So this function I can directly write it like this. Minus 3 is integer, so I can take that outside. Gx is a function which is mod x into fx, so I can take fx common, right? So this is, I'll write it like this, mod x plus mod of 4x minus 7 into fx. This is function gx which is dependent on fx, where mod y denotes, this denotes the greatest integer function. Okay, this denotes greatest integer function, and y is element of R. Okay, alright, right. So we have to check whether f is discontinuous at how many points and g is not differentiable at how many points, right? So f is discontinuous. F will be discontinuous where will f be discontinuous? It will be discontinuous where this greatest integer function, this x square, will be integer, right? I know that greatest integer functions are discontinuous, are not continuous at integral points, right? So wherever x square is integer, there this function will be discontinuous. So between minus 1 by 2 and 2, how many points I'll get where x square will be an integer? X square will be an integer for x equal to 0, for x equal to 1, for x equal to root 2, and for x equal to root 3, then x equal to 1, all these points, right? 1 I have already written. So root 2, root 3, and x equal to 2 also, right? So at how many points this function is discontinuous? This function is discontinuous at actually 0. It will be at x equal to 0. This function will be at 0. This will not be discontinuous, right? Because 0 plus and 0 minus, it will be same only. Why? Because if I find out f0 plus, this will be 0 point something, right? I'll get 0 point something something minus 3. So I'll get minus 3, and f of 0 minus also I'll get as 0 point something something minus 3. So this will also be minus 3. So 0 pe it is continuous. So this point will not come. 1 will come, root 2 will come, root 3 will come. Okay, 1, root 2, root 3, and 2, right? So there are 4 points. 4 points where function fx is discontinuous, right? So how many points? 4 points. Option B is correct. This is wrong. Okay, and now let's check at how many points g is not differentiable, non-differentiable. So what is function gx? Gx is this mod of x plus mod of 4x minus 7, this into fx. Now see, we clearly know that this is a continuous function. Right? Mod functions are continuous. Okay, I'm talking about continuity, not differentiability first. And this function is not continuous at 4 points. We have already checked, right? So this 4 points. So fx is discontinuous at 4 points. Now if fx is discontinuous at 4 points, I'll have to check for the derivability of gx at which points. Okay, so I'll check at 0. Okay, might be it's possible that at 0 g is non-derivable, or so what are the points where I'll check, right? Where I think that this function may go discontinuous. So since 0 is critical point, right? 0 is critical point, definition of mod is changing. At 7 by 4 also definition of mod is changing. So I'll check at 7 by 4 also. I'll check at 1 also. I'll check at root 2 also. I'll check at root 3 also. 7 by 4 also I'll check. So these are the 5 points where I need to check whether gx is derivable or non-derivable, right? Now it's given open interval, right? Here it's open interval, so I need not check at 2. right? It's not necessary to check at 2 because 2 is anyways not included, so why should I waste my time? So let me check whether this function is derivable or not at x equal to 0. Okay, so if I uh, check in the neighborhood of 0, right, in the neighborhood of 0, that means in this interval 0 plus h and 0 minus h, in the neighborhood of 0, what will be the value of fx? Fx is actually this, okay, and in the neighborhood of 0, whether it is 0 plus or 0 minus, value of this thing will be 0. So fx will be simply minus 3 in the neighborhood of 0. So what will be gx? Gx will be this thing, okay, this thing multiplied by minus 3, this thing multiplied by minus 3. And now we know that this function, right, the graph of this function will be something like this, right? Graph of two mod functions, like mod of something plus mod of something, is generally like this. So x equal to 0 might be this point, or x equal to 0 might be this point. So this point will be x equal to 0, so slopes will be different, so this function is non-derivable. At x equal to 0, definition of this mod is changing, right? So anyways, function is non-derivable. This is the function in the neighborhood of 0. Fx is gone now, it's just minus 3, right? So at x equal to 0, the function is non-derivable. So here it is non-derivable. Okay, and now at x equal to 1, the function is discontinuous. So we know that all non-continuous functions are non-derivable. This you might be knowing. All non-continuous functions are definitely non-derivable. So no need to check, it will directly be non-derivable. And here also function is discontinuous, so here also function will be non-derivable. Here also function will be non-derivable, right? Because at root 3 also, the function is discontinuous, and we know that non-continuous functions are non-derivable for sure. Now we need to check at this point, that is 7 by 4. Now let's check in the neighborhood of again 7 by 4. So 7 by 4 plus h minus h to plus h, right? It's actually opposite, right? First I'll take minus h to 7 by 4 plus h in this interval, right? If I'm writing interval, I should write the smaller number first. Okay, then in this interval, in the neighborhood of 7 by 4 actually, we know that in the neighborhood of 7 by 4, what will be this function? What will be the value of fx? Fx is this thing minus 3. Okay, so in the neighborhood of 7 by 4, I'll get 7 by 4 whole square minus 3. So this will be something around 7 by 4 whole square, so 49 by 16, and this will be 3 point something, right? So if this is 3 point something, greatest integer will be 3, so value of fx will be 0. Alright, if value of fx is 0, then I'll get gx as, gx will be mod of x plus mod of 4x minus 7, this multiplied by fx, and fx is 0, so gx will also be 0. So in the neighborhood of 0, around 7 by 4 minus and 7 by 4 plus, the function is 0. So graph will be just like this, right? Gx is just 0. So the function is, if gx is 0, that means g dash x will also be 0, right? It's a constant function, so slope will be defined. There will be a horizontal tangent which will be coming, right? So g dash x will be defined, and if g dash x is defined, if this is the function for this function is derivable, gx equal to 0 is surely derivable. So this point, this is derivable. So at how many points my function is non-derivable? At 4 points, right? Function is non-derivable at exactly 4 points. So again, here also answer will be 4 points. C is correct, D is incorrect. So the correct answer for this question was B comma C. Alright, B and C are correct option. Exactly 4 points. Which are the points here? Non-derivability. Points of non-derivability are 0, 1, root 2, root 3. This 4 points. And which are the points where fx is discontinuous? Fx is discontinuous at 1, root 2, root 3 and 2. Right, these 4 points are non-continuous and these 4 points are non-derivable. This is for fx, this is for gx. Okay, so again this question could have been done, but it was a little tricky, right? So you need to analyze at each and every point, then only will get the right answer. There was a lot of chances of making mistakes actually for this question. Okay, now let's move on to question number 51. Here, this is a paragraph question, so there are two questions in this paragraph, and this question are from probability, right? So here, if you can read this paragraph, I'll read it once again. Like, football teams T1 and T2 have to play two games against each other. So T1 and T2 are playing games against each other. It is assumed that outcome of the two games are independent. Okay, the probability of T1 winning, drawing and losing. Okay, so probability of T1 of winning, drawing and losing, it's given. Probability that T1 wins is 1 by 2, 1 by 6 and 1 by 3. So what will be the probability of T2 winning, losing and drawing? Probability of T2 winning, losing and drawing will be same. If it's a draw for T1, it's a draw for T2 also. And if it's a win for T1, that means it's lose for T2, right? So if T1 wins, then T2 will lose, and if T2 loses, if T1 loses, then T2 will win, right? So this two will be swapped. Winning and losing will be swapped, drawing will be same, right? And sum of all three is always 1. Now each team gets 3 points for a win. For a win you get 3 points, and 1 point for a draw, and 0 points for losing in a game, right? Now X and Y denotes the total points scored by T1 and T2. What is X and Y? They are total points which are scored by T1 and T2 respectively after two games, right? So they are playing two games. Now we have to find out what is the probability that score of total points which are scored by T1 is greater than total points which are scored by T2. Okay, so what are the total cases if they are playing two matches, right? If T1 and T2 are playing two matches, so T1 has three options, right? Either T1 will win, or it will lose, or there will be a draw, right? Again, T2 also has three options. Either there will be a win, lose or draw. So suppose if I write down all the cases, right? If I write down all the cases here, then either, like I am writing with respect to T1, right? So either T1 will win both the matches. If they are playing, if T1 and T2 are playing two matches, T1 wins both the matches, right? This is one case. Second is T1 wins the first match and loses the second match. Okay, third case is loses first and wins the second one. And next is there is a draw, both are draw, both are lost by T1. Or maybe next case is T1 won the first match and second match was draw. Or next case can be first match was draw and second match was win for T1, right? So everything is with respect to T1. Or one more case can be either first lose and then draw, and draw and then lose. Alright, so how many cases are this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, so total there will be 9 cases. 3 options for T1 and 3 options for T2. Right, so 3 into 3, total there will be 9 cases. Alright, so if T1 wins, now what will be the score of T1 and T2? If T1 wins both the matches, then score of T1 will be 3 plus 3, right? That's 6. And if T1 wins both the match, that means T2 loses both the matches. So here it will be lose. So that will be 0 plus 0. So score of T2 will be 0. Y will be 0. If T1 wins the first match and loses the second match, so T1 gets how much? 3 plus 0, that's 3. And T2 loses the first match and wins the second match, right? So T2 will also get 3 points. In this case also same, both of them will score 3. If both of them are draw, that means T1 draw is 1 point, right? For a draw you get 1 point. Yeah, so 1 plus 1 2, and here also 1 plus 1 2. If T1 loses both the matches, then score of T1 is 0. That means T2 wins both the matches, so score here is 6. If T1 wins the first match and second is draw, so that's 3 plus 1 4, and for this team it's lose and draw, so lose is 0 and draw is 1, so point score will be 1. Draw is 0, win is 3, so again this is 4 and again this is 1, and lose draw, lose means 0 and draw means 1, so 1, and here it will be 4, 1, and here it will be 4. Now I have to find out probability that x is greater than y. So in which of the following cases x is greater than y? Here x is greater than y, here x is equal to y, here x is equal to y, here x is greater than y, here x is greater than y. So these are the three cases where x is greater than y, right? So only I am concerned about these three cases. Okay, so either it will be this case, or this case, then only x will be greater than y, right? So in now let us find out the probability that this three cases turns out, right? So what is the probability? So these are the three cases, right? Either win win, win draw, and draw win, right? And this is with respect to T1. Okay, so what will be the probability that T1 wins both the matches? That will be probability of winning for T1. Okay, for T1 probability of winning is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 multiplied by 1 by 2. Probability that T1 wins first match and second match is draw. First is draw and second is win. So this will be the probability, right? Now if I add, I'll get 1 by 4. This will be 1 by 12 and this will be 1 by 12. Alright, so if I add them all, what will I get? This will be, if I add, I'll get probability that x is greater than y, and this will be 1 by 4 plus 2 by 12, that's 1 by 6. So 12 will be the LCM, 3 plus 2 5. 5 by 12 will be the answer, right? So for this question answer is 5 by 12. It was a very easy question actually. Okay, 5 by 12. And what is second part? Second part says that, not this one, this one, probability that x is equal to y, right? So I'll solve that question also in the same board. Probability that x is equal to y. So in which of the following cases x is equal to y? X is equal to y here, in this case, x is equal to y in this case, then x is equal to y, and bus, only three cases, right? So win lose, lose win, and draw draw. Win lose, lose win, and draw draw. These are the three cases, right? And again this is with respect to T1. So T1 wins first match is 1 by 2, right? T1 wins is 1 by 2, yeah, and loses is 1 by 3. Loses is 1 by 3, wins is 1 by 2, draw is 1 by 6, draw is 1 by 6. So this is 1 by 6, 1 by 6, and 1 by 36. So total, if I find out probability of x is equal to y, in these three cases x will be equal to y, the scores will be equal. So 1 by 6, 1 by 6, so that is 2 by 6 plus 1 by 36. So this will be 1 by 3 plus 1 by 36. If I take LCM, I'll get 13 by 36, right? So the correct answer for this question will be 13 by 36. Question number 10, here correct answer is 13 by 36. Okay, so very easy question, right? Like both the questions can be solved in just not more than 5 minutes. It should not take more than 5 minutes for solving this question, both the questions, right? So it was a very easy paragraph that they had given from probability. Just you need to find out all the cases and then interpret where the score is equal and where the score of T1 is greater than T2. Only two cases were asked, right? In fact, this question number 52, was more simpler than the first question also. Then paragraph 2, let's move on to the next paragraph. Here this paragraph says that, this is again from coordinate geometry, so you can expect a little bit of calculation or maybe plotting the curves and finding out areas and all that. So f1 and f2 are 2 points. x1 is less than 0 and x2 is greater than 0 be the foci of this ellipse, right? What is the ellipse? Ellipse is x square by 9 plus y square by 8 is equal to 1. This is the ellipse. Suppose parabola having vertex at origin and focus at f2 intersects the ellipse at point M in the first quadrant and at N in the fourth quadrant. Alright, so this is a horizontal ellipse, right? So if I draw the diagram will be something like this. There is an horizontal ellipse and f1 and f2 are the foci. So this is the ellipse. There is a parabola. Parabola is like this. Okay, this parabola is having vertex at origin. Focus of ellipse and foci are both of them are same. Alright, so this is f1. F1 is with negative x, right? Yeah, and f2 is somewhere here. This is f2. So what is f1 and f2? Let's find out the foci of both of them. Here we know that b square is equal to a square into 1 minus e square. So b square is 8 by 9. 1 minus 8 by 9 is e square. So from here I'll get e equal to 1 by 3. Right, if e is 1 by 3, then a comma 0. So e will be 1. So 1 comma 0 and minus 1 comma 0, right? So this point is actually minus 1 comma 0 and this point is actually plus 1 comma 0. Alright, so these two are the foci. Now we know that what is point M? This is point M and this is point N in the fourth quadrant, right? This is point N. Now what we have to find out? We have to find out orthocenter of triangle F1MN. So if I join MN, it will be something like this. If I join MN, it will be something like this. May or may not pass through F2, right? So it will be like this and like this, right? Now what are points M and N? Points M and N we need to find out, right? So we can find out points M and N. That we can do. Parabola is having vertex at origin and focus of parabola is f2, right? So if this is the focus, that means for that parabola a is equal to 1 because focus of parabola is a comma 0, right? So if I compare it with that, then a will be 1. So parabola is actually what? Y square equal to 4x. So this parabola is y square equal to 4x and this ellipse is x square by 9 plus y square by 8 equal to 1. So if I solve this two, I can find out the points M and N, right? And then I can find out the orthocenter of this triangle. Now see, if I look very carefully, orthocenter will definitely lie on x-axis, right? Because there is a complete symmetry. This triangle is entirely symmetrical. This line is perpendicular to the x-axis. So orthocenter will definitely lie on it will definitely lie on x-axis, and 3 out of 4 options are lying on x-axis, right? Only this option is rejected. So answer will be either A, B or C. Now so this is one of the altitude, right? This M and this point is suppose Q. So F1Q is definitely one of the altitudes. Now let's find out M and N first, right? So y square is 4x. So I'll get x square by 9 plus 4x by 8 equal to 1. So x square by 9 plus x by 2 is equal to 1. So if I multiply the entire equation by 18, I'll get 2x square plus 9x minus 18 equal to 0. So from here if I factorize, this is 6 into 3 into 2, right? So how can I factorize this? If I want to factorize this, then 3 into 2 into 2 into 3. So 9 at 4. No, actually 6. If I want to factorize this, then 6 and 3, right? 6 3 is 18. 4x by 8. 4x by 8. So this will be x by 2. And this is equal to 1. So 2 and 9. Yeah, this is correct. Equal to 18. Okay. So if I want to factorize, this will be 3 to the 6, 6 to the 12, 12 into 3. Yeah, this will work, right? So x square plus 12x minus 3x minus 18 equal to 0, right? So 2x common, x plus 6 minus 3 common, x plus 6 equal to 0. So from here I'll get x equal to 3 by 2 or x equal to minus 6. But x can't be negative, right? Because we are talking about points which are lying in first quadrant and fourth quadrant. So x can't be minus 6 definitely. So x will be 3 by 2. Alright, so this point will be uh, 3 by 2 comma something, and this point will also be 3 by 2 comma something, right? X coordinates are same. What will be the value of y? Y square is equal to 4x. X is 3 by 2, right? So y square equal to uh, 3 into 2, 6, right? So y square equal to 6. So this will be plus root 6 and this will be minus root 6. So these two are the points. Now I can write down equation. One of the altitudes is known, right? This altitude is known. I need to find out one more altitude. One altitude is just x-axis. So I need to find out one more altitude in this triangle to find out orthocenter, right? Orthocenter is nothing but intersection of any two altitudes. So if I drop one perpendicular from M to this opposite side of this triangle, okay, here, then what will be slope of F1n? We can find out slope of F1n. That will be nothing but minus root 6 minus 0 divided by 3 by 2 minus 1 minus minus 1. So that will be plus 1. So from here I'll get minus root 6 divided by, and this will become 2 by 5, right? It will be something like this. So this is slope of f1n. Now if I say this point is suppose p, right? So what will be slope of mp? mp is perpendicular to f1n, so slope of mp or pm, this will be 5 by 2 root 6, right? This will be the slope of that altitude. Now I can easily write down the equation of that altitude because I know one point and I know the slope. So I can write down equation of mp. That will be how much? Equation of pm, right? This will be y minus y1, that is root 6, right? Y minus y1 equal to slope into x minus x1, and I have to find, this is equation of PM, right, which is altitude from M, and also I know equation of altitude from F1, and equation of altitude from F1 is nothing but F1q, and that is y equal to 0, that is nothing but x-axis. So I need to solve this two and find out the intersection point, that's it. So if I put y equal to 0 in this equation, I'll get minus root 6 multiplied by 2 root 6 divided by 5, and this is equal to x minus 3 by 2. So this I'll get 2 times 6, that is 12 by 5 plus 3 by 2. इसको सॉल्व करेंगे क्या आएगा, यहाँ पे आएगा 10, so minus 24 plus 5 times, so this is 15 और x, right? तो यहाँ पे 24 minus 15, ये इसका आंसर कितना आएगा, this will be 9 by 10, right? Minus 9 by 10, x will be minus 9 by 10. So point orthocenter will be minus 9 by 10 comma 0. This will be the orthocenter. So answer for this question was minus 9 by 10 comma 0, right? We just need to find out orthocenter, and this is the correct answer, option A. Alright, 9 by 10 comma 0 is not correct. This is also not correct. Minus 9 by 10 comma 0. Okay, let's look at the next question. Here this question says that, this question is if tangents to the ellipse at M and N meet at R, right? So if I draw tangents to ellipse at M and N, they meet at R. Alright, and the normal to the parabola at M meets the x-axis at Q. Let me draw the diagram again very fast, right? So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is the ellipse, this is the ellipse, and we can draw this as the parabola. This point is 3 by 2 comma root 6. This point is 3 by 2 comma minus root 6. This parabola is y square equal to 4x. Now this is m, this is n, this is origin. Now what I'm doing is I'm tangents at m and n meet at r. Alright, so if I draw a tangent to the parabola, right? Tangent to the ellipse at m and n meet at r, and normal to the parabola at m meets the x-axis at q. Acha, so normal to m meets the x-axis at q. So this point is q, this is normal at point m, and tangent to the ellipse at m and n. Okay, so tangent to ellipse. Okay, so we have to draw tangent to this ellipse at m and n. So tangent to ellipse at m will be something like this, and tangent to ellipse at n will be like this. Okay, and this two will also intersect on this line only, right? It will intersect on x-axis only. It will be like this. This point is r. Okay, it will intersect because there is symmetry, right? If there is symmetry, it will intersect on x-axis only. Now then the ratio of area of triangle MQR, alright, area of triangle MQR divided by area of quadrilateral MF1 and F2, right? So MN, okay, this is N, and F1 F2, right? So if I join this, it will be something like this, and F1 F2, F1 will be somewhere here and F2 will be somewhere here. Okay, right, so we can do this. Now acha, so find out the coordinates of Q and R first of all, right? So if I write equation of normal at M to this parabola, so if I differentiate, what will be the slope? 2y y dash equal to 4, so y dash will be 2 by y. What is y coordinate? Y coordinate is root 6. So 2 by root 6 is slope of tangent. So what will be slope of normal? Minus root 6 by 2. So what will be equation of normal? Equation of normal to the parabola will be like this. Y minus root 6 equal to slope into x minus 3 by 2. This is the equation of normal. Now if I put, this is x-axis, right? So y coordinate will be 0. So if I put y equal to 0, I'll get the coordinates of point Q. So minus root 6 will get cancelled. So I'll get 2 plus 3 by 2, that will be x. So x will be 4, so 7 by 2, right? So this point is 7 by 2 comma 0, right? Point Q is 7 by 2 comma 0, and what will be point R? Point R also we can find out by writing equation of tangent, right? So if I write equation of tangent to ellipse, that will be, what will be the equation of tangent to the ellipse? So let me differentiate ellipse. So I'll get x square by 9 plus y square by 8 is 1. So 2x by 9 plus 2y by 8 into y dash. This will be 0, right? So 2 will get cancelled. Okay, so y dash will be minus 8x by 9y. So minus 8 by 9. What is x? That is 3 by 2. What is y? That is root 6. Okay, if I simplify this, I'll get 3 times 3 and 2 times 4. So minus 4 by 3 root 6. This is the slope. Okay, this is the slope of tangent. So what would be equation of tangent? Y minus root 6 equal to slope into x minus 3 by 2. And again I'll put y equal to 0. So if I put y equal to 0, I'll get minus 3 root 6 into root 6 divided by minus 4. This is equal to x minus 3 by 2. So this 2 will get cancelled. I'll get 3 into 6 divided by 4. Okay, so this will be 2 times 3 and 2 times 2. So 9 by 2 plus 3 by 2. This is x. So this is 12 by 2, which is 6. Okay, so 6 comma 0, this point. Okay, so I can find out area of this triangle now. Now, so what is this length, right? Area of triangle will be half into MQR. So triangle MQR is half into base. Base is 6 minus 7 by 2. This is base, and height is root 6, right? So height is simply root 6. So this will be the area of triangle MQR. You can find out by simplifying. And I already know what is F1 F2. F1 F2 is minus 1 comma 0 and 1 comma 0, right? So this is 1 comma 0 will be somewhere here. 1 comma 0, yeah, 1 comma 0 will be somewhere here. So F1, so I need to find out area of this quadrilateral, right? Area of, let me draw it with some different color. Area of F1M F2, this quadrilateral. So area of this quadrilateral is nothing but double the area of this triangle. If I find out the area of this triangle and double it, I'll get area of that quadrilateral, right? So this denominator, okay, this area quadrilateral M F1 and F2, this will be 2 times area of this triangle. So what is area of this triangle? Half into base. Base will be 2, right? This length is 2. See, this is base, and height is again root 6. So this will get cancelled, so I'll get 2 root 6. What is this area? This area is 12 minus 7, so 5 by 4, and this will be root 6. If I divide this 2, I'll get 5 root 6 by 4 and 1 by 2 root 6. So this 2 will get cancelled, so ratio will be 5:8. Alright, so for this question, answer will be 5:8. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed solving questions with me, and I hope you understood all the questions which I have explained here. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me through the Ask ITNs forum. If you get any doubt, you can post your doubt there. Okay, so I will take a leave. Goodbye, good night, take care.